everyone, how are you all? Today we are going to start a new topic, that is exponential and logarithmic functions. First of all, before starting our topic, we need to know about what are exponents. So, first of all, we will know what are exponents. Suppose 3 is multiplied with itself 2 times. 3 into 3. We can easily find a value. Suppose 3 is multiplied with itself 5 times. We can write this also. But if we have to write 3 multiplied with itself 20 times. So it will be little tedious to write 20 times 3 into 3 into 3 so on. So the things becomes little tedious and difficult. So we need exponents. What are exponents? If a number is multiplied with itself, for this we can write it like 3 raised to power 2. Because 3 is multiplied with itself 2 times, we can write it 3 raised to power 2, where 3 is the base. This is called the base number which is multiplied with itself, and how many times it is multiplied. See here, 3 is multiplied 2 times, 3 into 3. So this is called, this 2 is our exponent. This is the concept. If a number is multiplied with itself, how many times? That is called the exponent. Here 3 is multiplied with itself 2 times. Therefore here exponent is 2 and 3 is our base. And here 3 is multiplied with itself 3 raised to power 5. Because it is multiplied with itself 5 times, we can write it 3 raised to power 5. Where base is same here 3 and 5 is our exponent. So generally we take base as constant and exponent gets varied. So generally we take this as variable and this as constant. Now here I didn't write because I was feeling very boring, but when we have to write it in the form of exponent, it becomes very easy. We can write 20 times 3 raised to power 20, where 20 is our exponent and 3 is our base. We can call exponent as, there are 2 more names exponent. We can call it index and we can call it power also. Exponent, we can call exponent as index or we can call it power also, and 3 is the base. So exponent any number of the type a raised to power n, where a is the constant and n is variable. It is called exponential form. A raised to power n, where a is the base and generally we take as constant, and n varies. How many times it varies? That is called the exponent. Base raised to power exponent is called the exponential form. A raised to power n is given here exponential form. Exponential form. So here we can suppose I have to solve 2 raised to power 3. We can call it 2 cube also. 2 raised to power 3, 2 cube, same thing. So 2 will be multiplied with itself. How many times it will be multiplied? 3 times, because our exponent or power is 3 here. So 2 into 2 into 2, it is equals to 8. So how easy it becomes when we write it in the form of exponential form. Now suppose I have to solve 5 raised to power 4. We read it like 5 raised to power 4. Up to cube we can say 2. If power is 2, we can say 5 square. If power is 3, we can say 5 cube. And if power is 4 or more, we say it 5 raised to power 4, 5 raised to power 5, 5 raised to power 20. So 5 raised to power 4 I have to solve. So I will write 5 4 times, 5 into 5 into this. So 25, 125, it becomes 625. 5 raised to power square, 5 into 5. 25 and 5 cube, 5 into 5 into 5. That is 125. So this is the concept of exponents. We can write the multiplication, how many times the base repeats itself in multiplication, that is called the exponent. Now there are certain properties of exponent. How we can solve the question in a very easy manner of exponents. There are few properties. First property is we are having a raised to power n into a raised to power m, that is always equals to a raised to power n plus m. That is, if we have to multiply two numbers of exponential form where their base is same, here see, here is a, here is again a, their base is same, their exponents are different and they are getting multiplied. So how we can solve them? We can solve them by taking their base as one time and powers gets added. Total number is getting multiplied, but if we are taking base as one time, powers gets added. See the example. Suppose I am having 2 raised to power 3 into 2 raised to power 4. First of all, I will solve it by left hand side as simply we are solving a raised to power n into a raised to power n. Now 2 raised to power 3 is 8 and 2 raised to power 4 is 16. So 8 into 16, 128. So if we are generally solving it without using the property, we are getting 128. But now I am trying to use the property. By comparing it, we can see that our base is same. And what is our base here? It is a. So we can take it as 2 raised to power n plus m. What is our n? n is here 3 and m is this. We are adding them, so it becomes 2 raised to power 7. 2 raised to power 7 means what? 2 is multiplied with itself 7 times. This is the meaning of 2 raised to power 7. Now we have to multiply 2 to the 4 to the 8 to the 16 to the 32 to the 64 to the 128. So no need to make it complicated by solving itself. It will be very easy whenever we are solving it by using the property. So this was our first property, that if the two numbers are getting multiplied and they are having the same base but different powers, so we can take as the common base and the powers gets added. We have to add the powers. I think it is clear to you with the example. Now second property, if they are having different bases are different. I am taking A and B, but powers are same. Here powers are same. A into B and their power is same, that is n here. So what will be their answer? We can multiply the bases A into B and then we can use the power. Here we have to use the power first and then we have to multiply, but after using the property we can multiply the bases and we can use the powers afterwards. See the example. 2 raised to power 2 into 3 raised to power 2, 2 square into 3 square. Here bases are different. I am taking A as 2 and B as 3, but their powers are same, m 2 into. First of all, I am using it without using the property. We are getting 2 square is 4 and 3 square is 9, that is 36. But after using the property, AB means 2 into 3 raised to power 2, because power is common, we can write it one time, that is 6 square, that is 36. So property, whenever we are having different bases but same power, we can multiply them and we can use the power one time commonly because we have already multiplied them. I think with the example it is clear to you. Now, what is our third property? Third property is about division. A raised to power m divided by a raised to power n is equal to a raised to power m minus n. In the multiplication, when our bases were same, powers get added, but in the division, when our base, here also see, base is same but superscript, this is also called superscript, m and n. So because we are dividing them, here powers gets subtracted. We have to subtract the power. In multiplication we have to add the powers, and in division we have to subtract the power. So a raised to power m divided by this is equal to, see the example, I am taking 2 raised to power 5 divided by 2 cube. So first of all I am solving it by the left hand side. 2 raised to power 5 is 32 and 2 cube is 8. So we can cancel them. So ultimately we got the answer 4. But whenever I am using the property a raised to power n minus n, but what was our a? It is here 2. And what are powers? 5 and 3. So I have to use 5 minus 3, that is 2 raised to power 2, that is 4. See, we got the same answer. Left hand side is 4, right hand side is 4. So third property is also very important. In fact, all the properties are very important. What is our fourth property? Fourth property means if I am having a base with a power m and I have to take again the power, means 2 times I need to take the power, so power gets multiplied. M outside and inside power will get multiplied and we will get a raised to power mn. See the example. A raised to power m. Suppose I am taking 2 square and here 3. 2 square into 3, here a is our 2 and m and n are 2 and 3. First of all, I am solving it as it is. 2 square means 4. 4 raised to power 3. So we got the answer 64, that is 4 multiplied with itself 3 times. 4 into 4 into 4, that is 64. But if I am taking it with the property, so I should take it like 2 raised to power 6. Powers gets multiplied. 2 into 3, that is 6. And we know that 2 raised to power 6 is 64. So we got the same answer. Left hand side equal to right hand side. I am giving for every property an example so that you can understand very nicely. Now what is our fifth property? Fifth property says for any number a, if the power is 0, for any non-zero number, a should be non-zero. For every non-zero number, if the power is 0, the answer is always 1. I am taking 2 raised to power 0, 1. I am taking 1000 raised to power 0, 1. I am taking minus 5 raised to power 0, 1. So whatever number is there, if the power is 0 or the exponent is 0 or the index is 0, the answer is always 1. This is the, isn't it amazing? Yeah, I think, but this is a very important and very nice result. It is pretty cool that we can use everywhere the power is 0, directly we can make it 1. And what is our sixth property? If I am having a raised to power n and I have to take this number in the denominator, then the power will become in negative. If a raised to power n, if I have to take the reciprocal, I have to bring this number in the denominator. So only small change I have to do. I have to make this power negative. So a raised to power n is equal to this. Suppose I am having 2 cube, I can by 2 raised to power minus 3. And suppose I am having 5 with 5 square. 5 square means what? 25. So 2 cube I can write 1 by 2 minus, suppose I am writing 5 minus cube, so I can write it like 5 raised to power 3. So if the power is negative here in the reciprocal, it will just change the sign. If it is positive in the reciprocal, it will become negative, and if it is negative in the reciprocal, it will become positive. And similarly, if I am having a denominator, I am having 7 minus cube, I can write it like 7 raised to power 3, 7 cube. 1 by 7 minus 3, I can write it this, and vice versa. You can come to the from left to right and from right to left. So these are the properties which we will use in our exponential and logarithmic functions. Before knowing about exponential function, these properties are very helpful to know the concept of exponential function. That's why I told you and I give you a quick revision of all these properties, and I will take few questions related to these properties. So that you can understand the concept very nicely. Suppose I need to find 64 3 raised to power 4. I have to find the value of this. So 64, I am taking this inside and I am writing it cube, because just I told you that a raised to power m raised to power n is equal to a raised to power mn. But from the right hand side also I can come a raised to power mn. So I can write it like a raised to power m into n. From right to left and left to right I can move easily. So from 64 raised to power 1 by 4 raised to power 3 is equal to 64. I have to write in terms of 4, so that we can cancel out 4 with 1 by 4. And if you can't understand directly, you can use the factorization method. We will make the factors. We are getting 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, in place of 64 here, I should use 16. 16 raised to power 1 by 4. So whenever I am making the factors of 16, I am getting 2 raised to power 4. So in place of 16, I will write 2 raised to power 4, and this 1 by 4 was already there. So 4 into 1 by 4 raised to power 3. So we can cancel out 4 with 1 by 4. So we are left with 2 raised to power 3, that is 8. So this is the way how we can use the property. 16 raised to power 3 by 4. Directly it was difficult to solve. So 16 1 by 4. First of all, we separate the powers and we converted 16 in terms of 2 raised to power 4, and we go 2 cube is equal to 8. Now we come to exponential function, and we will come to know about what is the relation between exponential and logarithmic functions. Suppose I am having a function y is equal to fx. Both we can use. Generally we use fx, and fx we know that whenever it goes to the range we can call it y also. So y is equal to fx is equal to b raised to power a. I am having this function y is equal to fx is equal to b raised to power a, and just I told you that a is the exponent and b is the base, and such type of functions is called exponential functions. Whenever we are bringing these type of terms in the form of functions, these are called exponential functions, where b is the base again and a is exponent. And how we can convert this exponential function in logarithmic function, and how we can write short form of logarithm is log. Generally we use the word log only, not again and again logarithmic. So whenever we are writing a function in the exponential form, we can write in the form of log also. And how we can write? Suppose I am having some exponential function b raised to power a is equal to c. Then how I can write it in the form of log? Log of, what is log of c to the base b is equal to a. So we can see that whatever is our power in the form of log, it becomes our answer here, and whatever is our base, it is same here base, and whatever is the answer in the form of exponential function, that is the log. So exponential and log are inverse functions to each other. Suppose I have to take 2 raised to power 3, and we know that 2 raised to power 3 is equal to 8. So how I can write it in the form of log? Log of 8, what is the answer? C here. So I will write first log of 8 to the base, we read it like this, log of 8 to the base 2 is equal to 3. Whatever is our power in the exponential function, it becomes our answer here. So power is very important. So how we can write the log of 8 to the base 2 is equal to 3. We read it like this. We read it this like 2 raised to power 3 is equal to 8, and whenever we come to the log, we read it like log of 8 to the base 2. Base is same here. Here is 2, here is, we write it in the subscript, and we call it base also. Log of 8 to the base 2 equals to 3. So whatever our power, it becomes the answer here. So this is the definition of log and exponential function. But there is certain condition also. If I am having b raised to power a is equal to c, and I have to write in terms of log, log of c to the base b is equal to a. So what is the condition with this? The condition is that base b should be greater than 0 and b is not equal to 1. B is greater than 0, not equal to 1, but it can have the values between 0 and 1. Not restricted to 0 and 1. B is greater than 0, B is not equal to 1. And what is the condition for C? C should be greater than 0. C is greater than 0, and what is the condition for A? A belongs to R. A can be any real number. These conditions are also very important. Now see, if it is given that B should be greater than 0, but I am not taking B greater than 0. Suppose I am taking B negative. I am taking B as minus 2. If B is minus 2 and we have to find C, and it is given that C should be greater, A belongs to R, and if I am taking minus 2 raised to power half, because A belongs to R, this means A can contain any value, and I am taking natural value, I am taking minus 2 raised to power half. So is it possible? It will become under root of minus 2, and it will not. In this case, C is equal to under root of minus 2, that is 2 iota, that means it is not giving any real value, but we have already defined that C should be greater than 0. So that is the condition. I have told you the reason why B should be always greater than 0. We can't take B negative. Now the second condition is that B should not equal to 1. Suppose I am taking B 1. So 1 raised to power, A belongs to R, I am taking 1 raised to power 5 is equal to C. 1 raised to power 100 is equal to C. So whatever power I am taking of 1, it is always giving us plus c. So how can I write it in the form of log? Log of c to the base b is equal to a. So log of, I cannot write a definite number here. Log of c to the base b is equal to a. So I cannot find a definite number which will give us the ultimate value of a. That's why it is also not defined. B is not equal to 1. Now c should be greater than 0. Suppose I am taking c 0. Log of c to the base 10. I have to find the value of this. Because I am telling you why these conditions we are using. B should be greater than 0 and b is not equal to 1. This is our base. And what is the condition for c? C should be greater than 0 and a can attain any value. In this case I am talking about. Now log of 0 to the base 10 I have to find. Suppose it is equal to x. So I have to find that x which will give us this log. According to definition, I can write it 10 raised to power x should be equal to 0. So I have to find that x which will make this equation equal to 0. Is there any value possible for x? What value I can take for 10 raised to power? 10 raised to power, suppose I am taking 10 raised to power 2, it will not give us 0. I am taking 10 raised to power 0, it will give us the value 1. If I am taking 10 raised to power minus 2, it will also give me 1 by 10 square, that is 1 by 100. But in any case, I can never find a value which will make this number equal to 0. So that is the reason we can't take c less than 0. C equals to 0. Now I will tell you why we can't take c less than 0, that is negative also. Suppose I am taking negative minus 1 with the base 10. Log of minus 1 to the base 10 I have to find. Suppose it is equals to x. So this means 10 raised to power x is equal to minus 1. Is there any x possible? We can never find such a x which will make this 10 raised to power x equals to minus 1. So that's why this is undefined. Undefined, this is impossible. That's why we are deleting this possibility, and we are already saying in the condition that c should be greater than 0. C is always greater than 0. A belongs to R. A can contain any value. So these are the conditions. B should be greater than 0. B is not equal to 1 with C. C greater than 0 and A belongs to R. I am giving you one more example. Suppose I have to write 3 cube is equal to 27. So how we can write in the form of log? Log of 27, whatever is the answer we will write here. Log of 27 to the base 3 equals to 3. So you can practice more things how we can write from the exponential form to the logarithmic functions.
Now we will consider some simple application how we can convert log in exponential and exponential form in the logarithmic forms. So here the first question, find log of 81 to the base 3. We have to find log of 81 to the base 3. What it mean? It means we need to find that power of 3 which will make it 81. So because in the exponential form we can write it in the form of base raised to power this, whatever is the answer that will come in the form of power, and what is the number here, it will come here. So what is the question we can ask by ourselves, that we have to find what power of 3 will make it 81. So we can write this implies 3 raised to power x is equal to 81. Just what we are doing, we are shifting our 3 to the right hand side, but not in the form of multiplication or division. We can write it in the form of base. So 3 base is here, here also it will be base, and this number will become power and it equal to 81. So now 3 raised to power x, because base is 3 here, we have to convert this 81 in the factorization in the form of 3, and we can see that we are getting 3 into 3 into 3 into 3, that is 3 is multiplied with itself 4 times, and so we can write it in the exponential form like 3 raised to power 4. Both base are same 3 3 and they are equal, therefore their powers are also same. X is equal to 4. So 3 raised to power 4 is equal to 81. We found that power of 3 which make it 81, and that was 4. Now it is not always that we have to find only this number. We have 3 numbers 1 2 3, and out of these 3, 2 are already given and we always need to find only one number. So I am taking simple one example so that it will be clear to you. Solve for x. Log of 125 raised to power 5 is equal to x. So here also we need to find that power of 5 which will make it 125. So we can write it 5 raised to power x is equal to 125. Now we have to convert this 125 in terms of 5. So we will factorize it, and we got 5 into 5 into 5, that is 5 is multiplied with itself 3 times, so we can write it 5 raised to power 3, 5 raised to power x. Here both bases are same 5 and they are equal. This implies x is equal to 3. This was the first way. Now second way, log of x raised to log of x to the base 5 is equal to 3. Here this x is unknown to us, so we will first write it in exponential form. We can write it 5 raised to power 3 is equal to x. Therefore simply we got x is equal to 125. That is 5 raised to power 3. Directly we can see 125. Now the third is base is unknown. Log of 125 to the base x is equal to 3. How we can write it? We can write it x base will shift here. So x cube is equal to 125. X cube is equal to 5 raised to power 3. So bases are same, x is equal to 5. If there is possibility we are having in the terms of square, x square is equal to, we can write minus 5 square is also 25 and 5 square is also 25. So there may be two possibilities, minus 5 and 5, but we have already told you that this number can never, this base is always greater than 0 and this base cannot be equal to 1. These conditions I have already told you in the definition of logarithmic. So this base cannot be negative and it cannot be equal to 1. So this possibility already ruled out and we can have only x is equal to 5. In the cubic form there is no problem, but square times sometimes we are little confused that x is equal to minus 5 might be the possibility, but we have to omit that possibility and we have to consider only x is equal to 5. And in some cases it may come complex numbers, that possibility also we have to rule out. We are talking about only real numbers. So x is equal to 5 is the only possibility. So whenever 3 numbers are given, we have 3 quantities and out of these 3, 1 is always missing and we have to find that one, and that is very easy. Just convert them in exponential form and we can find the value of the unknown number. Now see, find log of 32. Find log of 32 to the base 4. Now log of 32 to the base 4. We need to find log of 32 to the base 4. First of all, we write it in the form of logarithmic form, and we don't know what its answer will be, and we have to consider the third number, otherwise it will be difficult to find. So we are taking the unknown quantity as x. So what it mean? What power of 4 will make it equal to 32? So we can write it in exponential form like 4 raised to power x is equal to 32. So whenever we are making factors of 32 in terms of 4, because we want to make its base 4, we can see that we are not having exact 4, we are having 2 4s, but 1 2 is left and there is no pair for this 2. If we are having one more 2, then only we can say that 4 into 4 into 4, but here this 2 is left out, so we can't convert it in the, we can't take this 32 in the form of 4. So we know that we can write it in the form of only 2, and we know that 32 is equal to 2 raised to power 5, but here our base is 4 and here 2. How we can compare then? How we can equate them? So we can convert this 4 in the terms of 2. How? We can write this 4 as 2 raised to power 2 raised to power x, and we know that whenever I told you the property a raised to power m into n is equal to a raised to power mn, so we can multiply this 2 raised to power 2x is equal to 2 raised to power 5. Here both the bases are same, so we can equate their powers. We can say that 2x is equal to 5 and x is equal to 5 by 2. I am taking very simple example. So we got x is equal to 5 by 2. Log of 7 find log of 1 by 343 to the base 7. This we need to find, and we have to consider it equal to x, because we don't know what is its value, and without considering it will be very difficult to find out. So generally we take it equal to x. Now are you confused that how we can take this number 1 by 343? Because I have already told you that our condition with the base was it is always greater than 0 and it cannot be equal to 1, and the condition with this number is that only that it should be greater than 0. So 1 by 343 is greater than 0. So we can consider in the fraction also, no problem will be there. Don't be confused and panic about this number. So how we can take? We can consider 7 raised to power x is equal to 1 by 343. Now whenever we are making the factors of 343, we are getting 7. We can write it 7 cube, but we can't compare, we can't equate 7 raised to power x and it is 1 by 7 cube. So we have to be either they should be in the numerator or in the denominator. And one property I have told you, a raised to power minus m is equal to 1 by a raised to power m. By using that property we can write it like 7 minus cube, and here it is 7 raised to power x. 7 raised to power x is equal to 7 minus cube. So we can say that x is equal to minus 3, and there is no restriction with this x. It can be any real number, positive, negative fraction, there is no problem. So x is equal to minus 3 is our answer. Now we will take some more questions. First question is express 3 raised to power minus 2, that is 3 raised to power minus 2 is equal to 1 by 9 in the logarithmic form. We have to convert this. We have to convert 3 raised to power minus 2 is equal to 1 by 9 in the logarithmic form. Now it is in the exponential form, and we know that log of whatever is the answer, we write it here, log of 1 by 9 to the base 3. Here also base 3, and in the exponential logarithmic form also base should be 3 is equal to minus 2. So we can convert exponential in the logarithmic form and logarithmic to the exponential form. Now question number 2. Log of this is equal to x, and we have to find the value of x. So first of all we have to ask the question, what power of 100 will make it equal to 0.01? So 100 raised to power x, we don't know the power, we are considering it equal to x. So what power of 100? X power of 100 will make it equal to 0.01, and we can write it 1 by 100. It is 100 raised to power x. From here we can write it like 100 raised to power x is equal to 100 raised to power minus 1. 100 raised to power x is equal to 100 raised to power minus 1 because there is no power on 100. We can consider it is having a power 1, and whenever if it is shifting to the numerator, it will become 100 raised to power minus 1. And because base are same and powers and both are equal, we can equate the powers. We can say that x is equal to minus 1. So minus 1 is that power which we will have to consider on 100. It will make it equal to 0.01. Now question number 3. We have to find log of x to the base root 8. Here root 8 is possible because only condition with the base is it should be positive and it should not be equal to 1. It is positive, so it is irrational, doesn't matter. We can take irrational, rational, real we can take. So first of all, our question is log of x to the base root 8 is equal to 10 by 3. Now see, we have to find in the exponential form, we have to write that just shift. If you are little bit confused, so you can get just we have to shift the base to that side. We get root 8 raised to power 10 by 3 is equal to x. Now this 8, root 8, we can write it like 8 raised to power 1 by 2, and there is one more power 10 by 3 is equal to x, and by using the properties of exponent we can write it like 8 raised to power 1 by 2 into 10 by 3, that is 8 raised to power 5 by 3 is equal to x. But we are not getting the answer. We can convert it because there is no power on x, so we can write this 8 as 2 raised to power 3, and 5 raised to power 3 is already there. We can cancel out, so we are left with x is equal to 2 raised to power 5, and we know that 2 raised to power 5 is equal to 2 multiplied with itself 5 times, so we got x is equal to 32. Now consider, find x. Log of x minus 7 to the base 5 equals to 1 is given to us, and we have to find the value of x. First question, log of x minus 7 to the base 5 is equal to 1 is given to us, and we can write it in the exponential form as 5 raised to power 1 is equal to x minus 7, 5 raised to power 1 is equal to 5, 5 is equal to x minus 7, so x is equal to 12. So directly we are not solving, we have to find the value of x, and it is a linear equation. Like linear we can solve it very easily. Same question is this, log of x minus 10 to the base 10 is equal to 1. We can write it like 10 raised to power 1 is equal to x minus 10, so x is equal to 20, or whatever is given to us, not always 1, whatever value is given to us, we can solve it like a linear equation. Question number 3, if log of m to the base a is equal to n, express a raised to power n minus 1 in terms of a and m. It is given to us that log of m to the base a is equal to n, so we can write it log of m to the base a equals to n, so we can write it like a raised to power n is equal to m in the exponential form. We are converting. Now we have to express a raised to power n minus 1. We are having a raised to power n, but we need a raised to power n minus 1. Can we directly do minus 1 from the power? No, it is not like. We have to divide it by a raised to power n divided by a. Whenever we are dividing in the left hand side, we have to divide it in the right hand side, because we can't change the quantities by our own wish. So both sides we are dividing, then it's okay, because it will have the same value, no problem will be there. And we can write a raised to power n. Here there is no power, it means it is having a power 1, so we can write it like a raised to power n minus 1 is equal to m by a. So we have to express a raised to power n minus 1 in terms of a and m, and we can see that a raised to power n minus 1 is equal to m by a. It is expressed in the terms of a and m, and that is the way how we can use our exponential in the logarithmic form and logarithms in the form of exponential. But we have many properties for logs that will make the questions very easy, and those questions are very important from the examination point of view also. So in the next video we will discuss about those properties, and those properties are very helpful to understand the log in a very easy manner. So I hope you like today's video. If you have any problem, please ask me in the comment section. So see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.